So let's talk about Black Friday, which is something everybody's talking about. And I feel like it's Black Friday like 30 times a year, you know? It's weird. But I've been thinking about it, and there are some sales out there. And I'm just like wondering, what do I need, you know? Or what do I want? Or what do I desire? For me, it's what do I need? Because I don't feel like I need anything really. But I did get a suggestion the other day. I might get a speed booster for my GH5, because then I can adapt all my lenses that I use with my S5. So that means I could use my anamorphic lenses. I can use my vintage lenses all in the GH5. And so that is appealing to me. So I might invest in a speed booster to have a really solid 2-camera setup. And then I have 4K 60 uncropped in the GH5. So that's kind of interesting, you know. So I'm thinking about that. What else? I don't feel like I really need any lenses. I have all the lenses that I want and desire. Like right now I'm shooting with the 20-60 kit lens. And I'm shooting at 24 millimeters, which is the widest I have. Well, it goes to 20 obviously, but all my other lenses, I have a 28 millimeter, and I have a 35 millimeter anamorphic, which is really like a 40 millimeter. So the widest I had before I got the kit lens was 28. And, you know, it served me fine. You know, I didn't really feel like I ever needed anything else. But once I got the 20, I realized it's good to have, you know, much more better, you know, more flexibility. And I kind of like the look. Like, for example, right now, I'm shooting at a 4:3 aspect ratio. And because I could shoot in 24 millimeters, it was easier for me to navigate around my room. And if I wanted to, I could shoot at 20 millimeters. And I could even move up more, because I don't have that big of a living room. So I can create this 4:3 aspect ratio and make it look normal because I have a 28 millimeter lens. And right now, a 24 millimeter lens, excuse me. So I don't think I'm going to get any lenses. I'm not going to buy a camera. I could probably use a more heavy-duty tripod, but not really. I have a decent tripod, and it's decent. It's not amazing. I could get a Kaiser tripod for like $90, and that's like a real heavy-duty tripod. So it's a possibility, you know, and really I would only get that for safety reasons. You know, like when I have it set up in a room, if I'm not the only one there, I do worry that people bump into it and maybe knock it over. So that would be much better than any tripod that I have. And I got a bunch, but they're all cheap tripods because for my purposes, you know, even when I'm out and it's real windy and crazy weather, I just weigh it down. You know, I put my backpack on it, something like that. It works out fine. I have filters that I need for my lenses. So I might consider getting another couple of ND filters, variable ND filters, so then, you know, I only have 6 lenses, so then all my lenses would have their own ND filter. I wouldn't have to switch it out. And, you know, I get inexpensive NDs. They look fine for me for what I do. Nobody's ever complained about them. My sound equipment is pretty solid, you know. I mean, I could get another Zoom H1N, but if I did that, I would probably get the H4N or the H6 just to upgrade. But my H1N is broken. But right now I'm using a Boya mic on top of the camera because I'm about 2 or 3 feet from the camera, so this should pick it up pretty well. If not, you will never see this video. But yeah, I'm pretty good with sound equipment. I have the Hollyland Lark Max, which I hate the way that thing looks, but I just put a lavalier mic on it and I could hide it. So I love the way it works. I mean, it's really, really capable. And even though it's not 32-bit float, it kind of works like 32-bit float because when I record directly into the microphone, it records so low, and then when I raise it up in post, I don't hear any noise floor coming up with it. So, you know, I don't know. I think 32-bit float is an illusion anyway. You know, I don't believe in it. You know, I would be setting my audio levels anyway. Like I don't trust that, but I come from a pro audio background, so you know, there's that. What else? no camera, no lenses. I don't, I have a gimbal. I have a Weebill S, which I never use because I like the handheld look. I don't have an external monitor anymore. And there have been times where I've been outside where it's like crazy mad bright and I haven't been able to see exactly what I want, but I would use it so infrequently because I love the monitor on the S5. The monitor on the GH5 sucks, but I still seem to get exactly what I want from it. And it's not like it's painful to use it, but I wish it was better. So I do think about that sometimes, but if I did buy an external monitor, I would probably get something that costs like $150 or something like that, unless I invested in a really good one. But since I don't use it that much and I don't like to add that to my kit, I don't know, and then I would probably have to buy a cage and, I don't know. Lights, I have lights that serve my purpose here and they look great. I could always use more practical, so I might very well buy a few more small little lights, to just use in the background and make it more interesting. But key light, hair light, stuff like that, I'm good. Like I don't do much client work for other people. Like most of the work I do for other people, I'll do editing. Most of the work I do for other people will be acting, but I I'm getting some video editing now. And so if you need your movie edited, reach out. But yeah, I don't really need big set of lights, I guess I could maybe use one really powerful light to carry around with me outdoors sometimes, because there have been times where I shoot outdoors and I'd like to shoot in the shadow and it's just too dark, then I just have to blow out the background, and I don't like to do that. And this, I'm using the Panasonic S5. It's got incredible dynamic range, so if I'm blowing out the background, it's kind of an unreasonable place to shoot where you absolutely need a light. So I could get a light, like that, because the lights that I have, they're RGB lights. One of them is a Pixel, the other one is a Neewer. They're actually the exact same light. I think Neewer just bought Pixel at some point, but they're not really bright enough for getting outdoors. Not really. If I held it like right here next to my face, it would do the job, but if I wanted to be at least 4 or 5 feet away, no way. And so it's a possibility. What else? Like I said, gimbal, nah. Tripod, nah. Sound, light. Big battery, to run the camera longer. But I have a bunch of batteries, so it's not hard for me to swap out the battery. It's not a big deal. And again, I don't feel like having a big-ass battery hanging off the back of my camera. If I were doing, like I might be doing a job for somebody doing a podcast, then it might be a good idea for me to get some external power like that. Because, these guys want to shoot for like 90 minutes at a time, 2 hours, so that might make sense. But I would also probably I would shoot it with the GH5 because then I could shoot 4K with no limit. The S5, 30-minute limit on 4K. So I could shoot it in 1080, and it's a podcast, like it's not a big deal, but they want it in 4K. So, and that is what made me think about perhaps getting the GH7 or, the S5 II or the 2X, because then I could have unlimited recording, in 4K. But I don't do that work enough, like I could rent a camera for that gig. And, if it's not something that I do often, why get another camera? You know what I mean? Like the S5 and the GH5 are like massive, epic movie-making machines. Like I don't need another camera. Autofocus is not really part of my workflow. And, I'm sure if I had a great autofocus camera, I would get used to it. I would start to rely upon it. Yeah, I'm sure it's great, but I don't have it and I don't use it. And I'm somebody who enjoys manually focusing. I enjoy my workflow, the whole process that I've done now for years, so, but yeah, it's crossed my mind, but not because of autofocus, The only reason I ever think of another camera is because I'd like unlimited recording, maybe 4K 60 without a crop, although, honestly, I almost never use slow motion, like almost never. So that's not really a big deal to me either, you know. I think more in terms of upgrading my sound stuff more often than not, you know, to have really, really great sound. Although, you know, I get great sound. So, I don't know, you know, like, I don't know. Listen, Black Friday, I don't think I'm going to get anything, to be honest with you. I'm happy with everything I need. Every time I never leave my apartment without my camera and all my gear, my backpack, and I never feel like I'm lacking anything. As a matter of fact, sometimes I feel like I have too much, you know, like if I have an extra camera. That's so incredibly privileged, you know what I mean? Like I have 2 cameras, even though, you know, my 2 cameras cost like $1,200 combined. So I don't feel so bad about that. But yeah, I'm not complaining that I have 2 cameras, you know, but I'm just saying sometimes I feel like, you know what, like, why would you think about getting anything new? You got everything you need. You have a gimbal if you want to use it. You have lights that work well for you. You have sound that every video you do sounds great. You made 2 feature films with stellar sound with what you have. Purple Panda lavalier, Zoom H1N, you know, like this Boya shotgun mic. It sounds great, you know. All my lenses, I love them. I have Anamorphic. My ND filters are good. You know, I have a Moment Cinebloom filter, 10%. I love it. It pretty much eliminated any of the moire that I was getting with, you know, I had a Sigma 28-70 at the time, but I sold it. Now the only lens I have that is not vintage or anamorphic is this Panasonic 20-60 kit lens. And I did see a little bit of moire when I first got it, but I put the filter on it, gone. And I've never seen moire in my vintage lenses or my anamorphic. So, you know, I don't know if that's just luck, but because, you know, for a long time I was seriously considering getting either the S5iix and getting rid of my S5 because of the optical low-pass filter. I also thought about perhaps installing an optical low-pass filter in my S5, but that costs like $600-700, something like that. I considered getting a GH5S because that has an optical low-pass filter. But then, you know, I was like, how often do I see moire, you know? And it's like I was obsessed over it for a while, but I don't think about it anymore. So could I have one installed, or could I get one of these other cameras? I've seen GH5S on eBay for $700 or $800. It's not that bad, but I love the GH5, you know? And actually the GH5, I noticed that the ISO settings are like, I can go up to like 1200 or 1250, whatever it is on that camera, even 1600. And I don't really see much noise, you know, like my experience has been, I shoot at ISO 400 90% of the time because I usually use the GH5 during the day. But when I have experimented with it and gone up to 800 and 1200 and 1600, it's pretty clean. Like people who say the GH5, you know, really struggles in low light, personally, I don't see it. I think the image looks great. I think it has a lot to do with the lenses that you use. And I have some fast micro four thirds lenses. And if I got a speed booster, it would be even better. So yeah, why get a GH5S or a GH7 or a S5 II or an S5iix or whatever, like S5iix? I'm happy with what I have in it. You know, I have great image quality. You know, I'm really happy with all the serious work that I do, and even my YouTube videos. I think they look fine. You know what I mean? They look great. I mean, I'm not putting that much effort into the cinematography of my YouTube videos, but I'm doing the best I can. But I'm not approaching it like I do my feature films. But still, it's not like they're mad noisy or, you know, disgusting colors or anything like that. I mean, they look professional. They look great, you know. So Black Friday, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm almost positive that I could care less, you know. I don't know. Maybe I'll get one of those lens blowers, you know, so when I switch lenses, even though I have 3 of those, so no, I'm not going to buy one of those. Maybe a little tool, you know, multi-tool thing. Well, I have one of those. I don't know, you know, like I have something to cover my camera when it's raining. I have like about 20 of those left. You know, I bought them. It came in a package of like 25. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd be better served to either donate some money to a good cause or keep the money because I'm pretty broke. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to buy any filmmaking gear. I think I'm pretty good. I'm happy. I'm pleased. I'm content. I don't have gas at all. You know, I have a good diet. My nutrition is together. I drink wheatgrass juice every day. I'm into coconuts. I keep my inflammation down. Turmeric is in my diet all the time. Fresh ginger. You know, so yeah, I don't have gas. See what I did there? That wasn't even funny. I know, it's kind of corny, but you know what I mean. Gear acquisition syndrome. I ain't got it. I'm not worried about it. Having said that, if there are any companies that want to send me cameras to have, to use, to show on my channel, some of the cameras I would love to use, I would love a Sony FX3. I would love to use that camera. Or an A7S III, but I would prefer the FX3, I think. I would love an FX30. Awesome, you know. Maybe even a ZVE1. I would love a GH7. That camera is pretty appealing to me, you know. S5 S5iix for me, like way overkill, you know. I don't need all that, you know. Although it does sound kind of cool to be able to record to an SSD, but I would love to try any of those. So Panasonic, yeah, I would love that. GH7, S5iix, awesome. So, yeah, but also that would be kind of like, I don't know if I have time to do that, you know, like because I like what I'm doing and I like what I'm using and I'm working on another feature right now and yeah. Black Friday, nah. Sponsors and people sending me stuff, that would be awesome. So yeah, I'm open to that. Yes to that. Black Friday, nah. So I'll end this video now. 4:3. I love 4:3 aspect ratio. And that's all I got to say for today. You know, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I'm doing nothing. And I'm grateful for the time to myself. I'm going to do some writing. I'm going to record a couple of videos. Working out some stuff on a screenplay that I'm working on. Doing a lot of research. And so I'm going to cook because I love to cook. I'm actually a good cook. So I'm looking forward to the day, but I'm not doing any Thanksgiving. I'm just not a Thanksgiving person. And nobody invited me either, so there's that. But so that's it.